Shalom and welcome to the show. Let's see what's going on. We're just talking about. I never did make my entire video yesterday. I also had a hell of a cough. I guess it has something to do with drinking. Sometimes I drink too much, I start coughing. It's a nervous. It's also a nervous thing. But beyond that, I was gonna make a video. I didn't make the entire video, and also. Let me also explain something else that went on. Whenever I click on something off the main rep cam, I'm always kind of afraid it may affect my main video or you might not be able to see what I said. So that's why I kept repeating shit. That, and I also wanted to keep up where I was at because I was trying to go fast, believe it or not. You wouldn't think I was, but I was. And I'm a fucking weirdo all the way around. So, yeah. But let's see what we have to talk about. Where did I leave off? I think it was a transgender issue. One minute, I'm getting there. 1 minute, I'm getting there. Here's one. It's pretty good. Yeah, let's start with this. Liberals fume from a police station or a police whatever, anyway, they're fuming from them giving away AR-15s. The police gave people AR-15s at a fucking raffle or some kind of societal function that they were holding. They gave people AR-15s, man. It's like, so you don't want us to smoke a plant, but you're giving people AR-15. And I'm not anti-gun. I've explained that before. I do not have anything against guns. I don't want a gun. I don't hunt. I don't use guns. I do like to target practice whenever I get a chance. That's been years. But there's something about shooting a tin can or shooting at a target that is liberating. It's liberating to you mentally. Because I think we all have a lot of rage, and it helps to kind of let that out sometimes. But I don't use guns. I don't want a gun. But the point that I'm making is these idiots are giving people AR-15. And this is horrible, and no one should ever commit a shooting. I don't support shootings. But the ultimate justice, or not justice, let me rephrase that. The irony would be if one of these idiots gave a guy a gun and that stupid fuck went on a shooting spree right then and there. I mean, these are the beliefs. I'm not saying they should take guns. They shouldn't be giving them to you. What the hell's wrong with you? There's that. A transgender axe murderer, yes, a transgender person, I guess, went on a axe murdering spree, I guess, with an axe and started beating up people with an axe. Let me rephrase what I'm saying here. I'm on the transgender people's side, not about this, but let me get to the point. As I have said before, Republicans or conservatives will find any issue to talk about transgender people about, and they will find a transgender person somewhere in the world who did something crazy, and here they have found someone, and it doesn't even have anything to do with them being transgender, but they found a transgender person who did something wrong, and now they're talking about that as if though that somehow relates to being a fucking axe murderer. It makes no sense, but that's what they do, and that's what I accuse them of. They're always trying to push for anything that's anti-transgender, and then they say they don't hate transgender people, they don't hate gay people. But every damn time you give them a chance, they always attack the LGBTQ community. They do this over and over and over and over again. And it's pretty damn obvious to me they're anti-transgender. It's bizarre. And I like how they phrased it in the article, 5 additional years added to the person's sentence. And they probably should be, because they were obviously crazy and going on an axe murdering spree. But still, it's like they love any time something bad happens to a transgender person, and they're so happy that the transgender person is going to be put away for a long time. You're not going to be hearing from that tranny for a while, and that's the point there. They're happy to see someone else is suffering because they're different from them, and it's horrible. All right. They were really attacking Seattle parks yesterday, and this has something to do with homelessness. I don't remember what, but anyway, Seattle parks are now supposedly hot spots for crime and homelessness. And again, I've talked about homelessness before. You need to help these people. You need to help clean them up and get them off the streets, not treat them like you're trash and throw away children. And that's what a lot of these people are. They're throwing away children. A lot of them are young. A lot of them are under 30. Some of them are under 20. You have families that are homeless, veterans, obviously, people you sent to fight your wars that had their legs blown off. And there's an incredible amount of mistreatment and misunderstanding of the homeless in our society. And that's absolutely disgusting and despicable and should not be allowed. But that's part of what happens, and it's very, very wrong, very, very unkind to do this to these people. And I would also like to say, just on a trivial note, at one point, it was reason that grunge music, one of my favorite kinds of music, grunge, came from Seattle because of adverse weather. Well, let me tell you, my country, my state where I live now is in the South, and it has more adverse weather than Seattle. It rains here literally every 2 or 3 days. It never stops raining where I live. And it's done just ever since like 2011. And when it's not raining, it's hot as hell, except for the winter where it's freezing cold. And then it's raining most of the time then too. So, I mean, that's pretty much where I live. Anyways, White House Congresswoman, yeah. They accused, they're once again accusing, and the White House themselves are now accusing the Muslim girl, the two Muslim girls or whatever they were. One of them was Muslim. I'm not sure about the other one, but they're accusing them of anti-Semitism. And I would agree, if they were anti-Semitic, that would be horrible. But they're not. They're U.S. representatives that were voted into office. We elected them, and they have an opinion. And they wanted to go to Israel. They want to go to the West Bank, visit the West Bank, check out pretty much what is the chaos and destruction of the West Bank and the people living there. And that's all they want to do. They were not hating Jews. They don't hate Jewish people. And they are in our Congress. We elected them, these congresswomen, and Israel would not take them. And the White House made statements like this, that she has a history of anti-Semitic remarks, anti-Semitic statements, something like that. And she's got an association with anti-Semitic groups. And the group they're talking about was, they said this about the organization. It's headed by a Palestinian lawmaker. I think it's headed by a Palestinian New York Times, Washington Post. It's headed by a lawmaker, and that was New York Times. It's nonprofit peace negotiator. That's Los Angeles Times. Los Angeles Times said it was headed by a nonprofit peace negotiator. And anyways, the point is, it's not anti. Oh, there goes the person who's watching me. Oh, I fucked up. Anyways, the point is, it's not anti-Israel. It's not anti-Jewish. It's not anti-Semitic. It's not even anti-Israel. She simply had a different view, and she wanted to go to that region to check out what she saw is the oppression of the people living there. Fuck me. Let me go ahead and get a drink. I might as well. Like, nobody else is gonna watch this anyways. Infant fluoride. I guess this is a good chance to talk about genital mutilation. You know, I don't disagree with Alex Jones about vaccinations completely. What I think about vaccinations is we do too damn many of them. I think they do have mercury. They can cause no telling what damage to the child's mind and body. But if you think about it, Europe does as many, maybe even more vaccinations than we do. They are a pro-vaccination society. Norway, Denmark, those countries. But the one thing they don't do is genital mutilation. They don't circumcise their children. They don't circumcise infants. We do that, and we have double, maybe even triple the amount of ADHD or ADD. We have triple the amount of ADD Europe has because of genital mutilation. It's not because of vaccines, because, like I said, they're a pro-vaccine society. You know, they do that. But we have triple the amount of ADD they have. We have triple the amount of depression and autism they have. More of our male children especially kill themselves. And you have to wonder, does that have something to do with circumcision? And what are the neurological effects of genital mutilation? No one asks that. No one talks about that. And that to me is very bizarre. And whatever. Sweden. What was it about Sweden? What was it? Sweden. Was I talking? Oh yeah, Sweden. Pepper spray is on the rise in Sweden, supposedly because of gang rape, and they're blaming that on the migrants. The Republicans are. I don't know what goes on in Sweden. I know this damn much. As someone who lives in American, I am American. I have been born in America. I am America. No one can tell me about America because I know more about America than anyone. You don't want to fucking do that too much in America. You don't want to run around raping people or hell even talking to someone in this country because they're just looking for a reason to shoot you anyways. And the men and the women have a gun and they will use it. That's this country. I mean, they all have guns and they're all very negative, and no one would do that here. Europe, I know Sweden is a peaceful society, so I guess you could get away with that there. I would not take my chances with any of the women in this damn country. You're going to get a hell of a lot more than pepper spray. You're going to get bullets in your ass, and you would deserve it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, you're not doing that here. Let me tell you. And something about censorship and this the everyday. I forget what this story was even about, but this everyday censorship of people censoring of their ideals and their views. And I agree. I hate neo Nazis, but I don't want to shut them up. Mostly because I don't fear neo-Nazism. They're dumbasses. Let them say what they have to say and just fucking make your points. And if you're right, and I mean, I would imagine you are, if you're talking about these people, you're gonna win anyways. And even if you don't, like, you can't just run from the truth. You can't be like, well, I don't like what he has to say, and I don't care if he's right or not. You have to accept everyone's ideals, whether you like them or not. But I accept everyone's ideals. I don't think Antifa should be put on a federal terror watch list. I don't like Antifa, but I absolutely would not put them on a federal terror watch list. I think that they have every right to be complete idiots. Now, when they start to engage in the violence that some of them do, that is when they go on the federal watch list. And I guess that's about my video. That's the point of my video. Again, circumcision kills between 50 and 100 tranny children a year. It is dangerous. It can kill you. It's bad for your health. It is not something that should be done to a child that is not consenting, and that's my opinion. Do not circumcise your children, and P666.